big problems today, Tim.
All right, well, the Bears have added another element of emotion today. Their great linebacker, Doug Buffone, announced his retirement yesterday after playing the most number of games in Bear history. Today, he is being introduced as the 12th man on the Chicago Bears. And listen to the ovation he gets from the crowd here at Soldier Field. Doug Buffone playing his last game as a Bear, and he's playing it in conditions that are typical of Chicago in December. It is 18 degrees. It is windy, a wind chill factor of -14. And perhaps the added emotion of Doug Buffone could be something that could really lift the Bears today. They need all the help they can get.
Yes, the Doug Buffone situation, of course, the death of George Halas Jr., who was a great Bear fan, aside from being the son of the owner and founder of the Chicago Bears, George Halas Jr., so it's going to be quite a game.
Well, right now, they've asked the audience to stand for a moment of silence in honor of the late George Halas Jr., who died of a heart attack very suddenly this morning at the age of 54.
Thank you. And now, the Rochelle Township High School Band, conducted by Mr. Terry Roderick, will play our national anthem. Jimmy Damon will lead us in.
Of course, we will be keeping a close eye on the score from Tampa Bay, where no doubt the weather conditions are a little more pleasant. They are scoreless, approaching the end of the first half there. If the Buccaneers win that football game, of course, they will clinch the NFC Central. And the Chicago Bears game plan, as Johnny Morris commented about, could change considerably depending on how that game goes in Tampa Bay. The referee today is Gordon McCarter. The other officials, Ed Fiffick, Bill Ross, Jack Fetty, Ray Douglas, Bill Quinby, and Armin Terzian. And they're coming out now for the toss of the coin. The field conditions here, remember, this is artificial turf, and we watch them very carefully. It appears that it could turn into an ice skating rink out there, but at least at this point, it's all right.
I have a head, tail, call it in the air. Tail. Tails. That is a head, Chicago's choice. Want the football, your choice of goal. This end.
The Bears will receive, and the wind is against them as they receive and defend to our right in their home black uniforms, and the St. Louis Cardinals to our left in white. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Chicago Bears and the National Football League is prohibited. Well, Johnny, you played for the Bears for many years and, of course, had some personal connection with the late George Halas Jr.
Yes, he was quite a guy. As I mentioned earlier, Tim, he not only was an official and a co-owner with his father of the Chicago Bears, but he was a Bear fan. He used to be down on the sidelines all the time when I was playing and would live and die with how the team did. More lately, he was president of the Chicago Bears and got a lot involved in league matters and official matters. And it's just a shame. He had never had a problem, and all of a sudden you die of a heart attack. And nobody can explain those kind of things, but I'd like to offer our condolences to his family and, of course, to Papa Bear, George Halas Sr., who I'm sure all of a sudden this football game is important, but not as important as life.
Right you are. May I echo your sentiment. Steve Little will kick it off for the St. Louis Cardinals. Lenny Walterscheid is the deep man. He is standing at the goal line of the Chicago Bears. There is snow around the sidelines. The snow is just falling very lightly at the moment as we are underway. Walterscheid from a yard deep. Return for Walterscheid over the 30 to the 32-yard line. Ken Green, number 37, the safety man, put the tackle on him, and fortunately for the Cardinals, he did, because Walterscheid had a lot of room behind him. So the Bears open with good field position at their own 30-yard line, and offensively, Ted Albrecht and Dennis Licker the tackles, Noah Jackson and Reeve Sorey the guards, Dan Neal the center. The wide receivers, Ricky Watts and Brian Bashnagel, and the tight end, Mike Cobb. Walter Payton and Dave Williams are the running backs. The quarterback is Mike Phipps, number 15. In motion is Bashnagel behind the ball. Dave Williams met right at the line of scrimmage. Pulled down by Mark Arneson, number 57, the linebacker, and Mike Dawson, number 73, the right defensive end. Mike Phipps, you can see, warming his hands out there. It is very cold, 18 above. And the passing game will have to be affected by this cold weather, of course. May be the quarterback that can achieve the most under these conditions that could affect the outcome of the game. Winds from the northwest at 21 miles an hour. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Bears. Phipps, lots of time. Open, Bashnagel complete. First down. The Bears, connecting on the first pass opportunity of the day, have a first down at their own 44-yard line. Brian Bashnagel, number 84. Ken Green, number 37, pushed him out. Of course, these Bears without Roland Harper, John Skabinski, receivers Golden Richards, James Scott, Schubert joining them on the injured reserve with a knee injury. As we look at the Cardinals defensively, a 3-4 defense. Pollard, Davis, and Dawson across the front. Linebackers Bearfield, Allerman, Williams, and Arneson, and there is the secondary. All-Pro Roger Worley on one corner with Carl Allen on the other. Green and Stone are the safeties. First down, Chicago. Complete to Ricky Watts. Good catch on tight coverage by Roger Worley. And a gain of about 6 yards on the play to midfield.
And we talk about conservative football. The Bears have thrown on 2 of the first 3 plays, so they must feel that they can pass. The footing doesn't look too bad so far for the receivers. Both receivers got out there and didn't have any problems with footage. Good coverage by Roger Worley. He was right on that play.
Newcomer Chris Haynes, number 83, comes in for Ricky Watts, the former Notre Dame star. Drafted by Washington, signed as a free agent a couple of weeks ago by the Bears following the injury to Schubert. Walter Payton's first carry off tackle has a first down. Out of bounds near the 42-yard line of the St. Louis Cardinals. Good block by Dave Williams on the play. And the Bears with another first down.
And you hit it on the head because it was Dave Williams, number 22. You'll see the safety come up. He'll kick Green out, number 37, and Walter Payton comes inside the block and then gets the yardage downfield, and you can see Bashnagel blocking downfield. The Bears are hitting so far in this game as Walter Payton trying to catch Otis Anderson in the rushing department.
Long way to go against the St. Louis rookie, but of course the Cardinals have yet to get the ball. This is the opening series. Ricky Watts back in, bringing in the play from head coach Neil Armstrong and offensive coordinator Ken Meyer. Bashnagel complete for another Bears first down, and Phipps has a hot hand throwing in this cold weather. Carl Allen on the catch.
And this play, Brian Bashnagel actually slipped and got up and made the catch. A 3-4 defense used by the Cardinals. You'll see Bashnagel getting up from his slip. And Carl Allen was almost there, but Bashnagel hugged the ball into his chest, and the Bears are on the move with plenty of passing.
Greg Latta comes in for Mike Cobb, and I guess, Johnny, a mild surprise at this wide-open offense here. It is scoreless in the other game down at Tampa Bay, approaching the half. Dave Williams, off tackle left, is hit after a gain of a yard, maybe 2. Mark Arneson, the linebacker, number 57, the 8-year man from Arizona, on the stop.
Arneson has done a good job twice playing off blocks by Walter Payton and making good tackles.
Let's make it a gain of 3 yards instead of 2. 2nd and 7. Cobb comes back in as the Bears are shuttling in the plays. They've used the wide receivers and the tight ends. The ball at the 29-yard line of St. Louis. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris. The sun breaking through here at Soldier Field. That is a welcome sight. Snow has stopped falling. It is still plenty cold. Screen pass, Payton. Walter Payton running to the 11-yard line where Carl Allen made the stop. First down, Bears. An impressive opening drive.
And if you ever saw a screen pass set up beautifully, that one did, as all the linemen got out there in time in front of Payton. You can see 69, you can see 65, and 52, Dan Neal. And there's the pass out to Payton. Here come the 3 offensive linemen out there to throw their blocks. And Walter Payton goes back inside the crease, turns it upfield, and if it hadn't been for Carl Allen dragging him down, Payton would have had the score.
Mike Phipps is 4 for 4 and 48 yards. First down, Chicago. St. Louis 11. Payton wide. Beats the linebacker. Bumped out by number 23, Ken Stone. Got to about the 6-yard line of St. Louis. The score at halftime in Tampa Bay 0-0. Kansas City and the Bucks are scoreless at the half.
I understand it's raining down there, which might help keep that to a low-scoring game.
I said the weather was better down there, Johnny.
Yeah, it's warmer, maybe.
I just assumed it was better. It is 18 degrees here in Chicago, but the snow has stopped falling. The sun is trying to get through. 2nd and 5. Payton straight ahead to about the 3-yard line, perhaps the 2. An impressive opening drive offensively for the Chicago Bears. Allerman 50 and Williams 55 combining on the tackle.
In fact, this is the most impressive offensive drive the Bears have had in 4 games. They've only scored 2 touchdowns offensively in the past 3 games, and one of those was set up on a block punt, and the Bears got the ball on the 1-yard line. So this has been something new. As you see, Robin Earl, number 39, comes in. He's the heavy-duty running back, or he could come in at the tight end spot. So they're playing him. They got 2 tight ends with Earl and Mike Cobb.
Bears getting close to delay of game here. 2 seconds to get that snap up. They just make it. Phipps wants to throw. He's got lots of time, and it's tipped away. Beautiful play defensively by number 27, Carl Allen. Carl Allen with a good defensive play.
As we take another look at it, you're going to see the Bears are going to have a big decision coming up here. Phipps had plenty of time, and Allen just made a great grab on Robin Earl, who had just come in the game. And apparently the Bears are going to go for the first down or the touchdown. They have about 1.5 yards to go on 4th down.
4th down, they need to get to the 1-yard line for a first down. Payton, a flag down. Payton would appear to have first down yardage. There was a motion penalty signaled, and whether it's offside St. Louis.
I believe it's offside against St. Louis, unless he was pulled offside. At any rate, the Bears will have the first down, and this shows a tendency of this football game, the strategy that is involved. I think under normal conditions, the Bears would have taken the field goal, as it was offside against St. Louis.
You can see Big Noah Jackson, number 65, preempting referee Gordon McCarter with the signal. He looked pretty good with that. It's a little large for an official, but he had the signal right. There he is, Big Noah.
And he has that orange towel on his behind, just like all the fans in the stands have orange cards to help.
Offside. Number 57 defense declined. First down.
Mark Arneson, the linebacker, cheating up on the line of scrimmage, cheated a little too much. First down, Bears at the 1. Payton comes out, evidently has a problem with his helmet strap. And will they waste a timeout to get him in or not? He's trying to change helmets with McClendon. He did. He took Willie McClendon's helmet. Hope that's a good fit, Walter. And is he going to make it? 11 seconds left on the clock. Twice now the Bears have come near to delay a game penalty. It'll have to be a fast count. And they just make it again. Payton to the goal line, but no signal. Yes, touchdown. The late signal from the official is signal touchdown Chicago Bears. And so the Bears march the opening kickoff from their own 30-yard line. They go the distance, and Walter Payton, wearing McClendon's helmet, gets the score.
Well, Walter did a lot of running to get that touchdown. As he goes in behind the blocking, behind Dave Williams, Revisori just squeezes into the end zone, but he ran 100 yards going to get a new helmet, got back, and they got the play off in time. The Bears are hustling as Bob Thomas attempts the extra point.
Remember, there is no score at halftime. It is pouring rain in Tampa Bay. And we'll keep you up to date on that score. Should the Bucks win, they will win the Central Division. Then the Bears would have to get into the complicated point situation with the Washington Redskins, who play later against Dallas today. They have opened the scoring here on the opening drive. Thomas, Pastnagle holding, and it is good. And so with 10:05 to play here in the first quarter, the Chicago Bears 7, the St. Louis Cardinals nothing. Bob Thomas will kick it off, the deep man for the St. Louis Cardinals. They will have Roy Green, number 25. And number 44, Randy Love. It is Green on the short kickoff, getting out to the 27-yard line, and is stopped there by Winford Gaines, number 36.
Payton is my name and running is my game, and I'll have to go along with that. As you take a look at Sweetness on the sidelines, you're going to see what his counterpart can do now. Otis Anderson, who has done so well for the St. Louis Cardinals. We haven't had a chance to see St. Louis on offense. The Bears ran off over 5 minutes on the clock.
Payton, 5 carries, 18 yards in that opening drive that went 69 yards in 12 plays for the score by Payton. Anderson. Pass from Bazarkowicz intended for Pat Tilley is incomplete. Terry Schmidt on the coverage. It'll be second down, so the Cardinals come out throwing as we look at the Chicago scoring drive. Setting up the Cardinals offensively for you. Mel Gray, number 85, and Pat Tilley, number 83, are the wide receivers. The tight end is Richard Osborne, number 87. Otis Anderson and Wayne Morris are the running backs. Morris 24 and Anderson 32. Bazarkowicz in his third start. Complete out the left side to the tight end Osborne. And so on 2 consecutive pass plays, Bazarkowicz is 1 for 2, and he has 2 victories under his belt as a starter with the Cardinals and under their new head coach, Larry Wilson. The offensive linemen for St. Louis, Brad Oates and Joe Bostic, the rookie, are the tackles. Veteran Bob Young, Terry Steve, the guards, and Tom Banks, the center. There are the receivers. And the running backs, Anderson and Morris. Switch positions from that pro set as they have done on each situation so far. It is 3rd and 6. Bazarkowicz incomplete, intended for Tilley. Winford Gaines, the extra defensive back in there, broke up the play.
Well,
brings up 4th down.
Who would have believed it? They had 3 plays and threw 3 passes. As you're going to see Winford Gaines on Tilley do a good job. He has his back to the ball, but he knows the ball is coming. He just reaches out and bats it down. A nice play by Winford Gaines. The Cardinals will have to punt.
Lenny Walterscheid will be the deep man as we see Steve Little lining up at the 15-yard line at punt formation for the Cardinals. And now the Bears bring some extra men up close to the line of scrimmage. See if they go for the attempted block punt. They're coming, and pretty good rush by Muckensturm. Fair catch signaled by Walterscheid. And he takes it at the 32-yard line of the Chicago Bears. We have 9:36 remaining in the first quarter. The Bears 7, the Cardinals nothing. Not very pleasant weather, but it is getting brighter here at Soldier Field. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris, where the Bears lead 7-0. First down at their own 32-yard line. 5 minutes gone here in the first quarter of play. Walter Payton. Good running room down the sideline and pulled down by number 23, Ken Stone, or he was gone for another 6. First down Bears at the 48-yard line of St. Louis.
Just a simple pitch, and watch the lead back on this play. You're going to see Dave Williams throw the block as he knocks Arneson outside. Noah Jackson, 65, throws his block, and you give Walter Payton a little running room to the outside. And I'll tell you one thing, it's a good thing that Ken Stone got a hold of him and brought him down, because he had daylight all the way down the sidelines as Payton has taken the big lead on Otis Anderson in this little rushing duel.
First down, Bears at the 48-yard line. Anderson did not get the ball in the first series by St. Louis. Screen pass, Payton. Payton, doing most of it on his own, gets over the 40. And close to a first down to the 39, where Charlie Davis, the nose tackle, came all the way back to stop him. Pollard, Davis, and Dawson across the 3-man front for St. Louis. And Walter Payton has now moved into 8th place in the all-time NFL rushing category, ahead of John Henry Johnson.
I got to think the Bears are thinking we're going to back ourselves up on this wild card situation, trying to get as many points as they can. They figure they're going to have to go at it both ways.
Slot formation now. Bashnagel out of the slot in motion behind the ball. Dave Williams, good hole off tackle left. Williams breaks the tackle but lost his balance. Stone was the man who had him. He had shaken away from Stone but could not retain his balance, but he has a first down to the 28-yard line.
Okay, right straight up the middle, straight on blocking. Payton tied up Arneson just long enough so that Williams could get to the outside, and it was Ken Stone making the saving tackle once again. The Cardinals are on the ropes here. Let's take a look at Walter Payton and take a look at his block on 57 Arneson. Straightens him up, ties him up so that Williams can get through. A little hold there maybe, but it was after he's on the ground. Nobody's going to call that.
First down, Chicago. Same formation. Dashnagel in motion behind the ball again. They go to the right side with Payton. Payton slipped at the 30-yard line, and in pursuit was Johnny Bearfield, number 58, covering him as he went down. He got back near the original line of scrimmage. It'll either be no gain or the loss of maybe a half a yard. Yes, it is behind the line about a half a yard.
And an important factor here is that the Bears traditionally have not had too much success against a 3-4 defense, which the Cardinals happen to be using, but they are running very well against that defense this afternoon.
Ball at the 29-yard line of the St. Louis Cardinals. 7-0 Bears if you just joined us. 7:18 to play first quarter. The word from Tampa Bay, scoreless at halftime in a driving rain. Phipps quickly out sideliner. Watts complete. Pickup of about 6 yards on the play. They spotted at the 24-yard line of the Cardinals. Interestingly, Johnny, in the statistics at halftime from Tampa Bay, 159 yards of offense by the Buccaneers, but 2 turnovers and no points on the board. It looked like they had shut down the Chiefs pretty well.
I think they even muffed a field goal attempt. They've had real problems with their kicking game as you look at the freezing Chicago Bear fans. But right now they're not freezing because Chicago is moving again.
If the Bucs lose and the Bears win, the Bears will have the NFC Central Division title. Third down, extra defensive back in for the Cardinals on the pass situation. It is third and about 5. Phipps with time, complete to Williams. Williams has a first down inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Harry Smith, the extra defensive back, number 45, made the tackle.
Interesting play. The Bears took both backs out of the backfield, Payton and Williams, and they crisscrossed right over the middle. No pass rush to speak of. Now you'll see 22 and 34 come crisscross right there, and I don't know if he was throwing to Payton or Williams, but Williams says it's there, it's mine, I got it, and he took it down to the 13-yard line. You
saw Walter Payton in that replay react very well, throwing a block as soon as the ball was caught. 9 first downs for Chicago here in the first quarter. Williams hit from behind and knocked forward as there was plenty of traffic congestion in the middle of that line. And the man to get him was Johnny Bearfield, the linebacker, with help from Mike Dawson, number 73, the right defensive end. And a gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 as Greg Latta brings in the play. And can you believe the league's leading rusher, Otis Anderson, still has not carried the ball. And we have 5:55 remaining here in the first quarter. And of course, he leads Earl Campbell of the Oilers by 3 yards in the battle for the overall NFL rushing title. Houston plays later today against Philadelphia. Slot formation left. Phipps wants to throw. It was deflected, but caught by Williams, who breaks the tackle. Touchdown! Dave Williams. Williams with a fine catch and a good move on that slick turf. And the Bears are up 13-0.
Is getting plenty of time, and I believe it was Johnny Bearfield, the linebacker, who slipped when he came over to make the tackle there. Right there, and he slipped back. No, that was not Bearfield. That was Allerman. He slipped, and Williams just turned it on and went into the end zone.
Okay, and I thought that ball was deflected. It was not, as you can see on the replay. It was clean all the way to Dave Williams. Thomas with a point after, and it is good. So the Chicago Bears, with 5:32 remaining in the first quarter, have jumped into a 14-0 lead on their first 2 possessions.
Recently, a landmark football game was played. Landmark not because of the way it was played on the field, but because of the way it was played on TV. You see, this was the country's first network telecast transmitted over cables made up of hair-thin optical fibers. Cables which will eventually carry thousands of times more information without taking up any more space.
G?
No, GTE.
The satisfaction from the job, per se, from being a State Farm agent, comes, for me at any rate, from dealing with people. I try to treat them exactly the same way that I would like to be treated, so that when they leave my office, they feel, hey, this guy took care of me. I think people expect great service from State Farm. Our reputation is built on it, and it's my job to see that they get that service.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, you'll see the first edition of Super Skates featuring Randy Gardner and Ty Babylonia, and a special performance by John Curry, former Olympians and world champions. Also the Pacific Synchronized Swimming Championships, and a special report on Too Tall Jones, his 4th fight, and look back at his first 3 fights in his effort to become a professional boxer. A most interesting transition attempt by Ed Too Tall Jones, the former cowboy. A short kickoff by Thomas is fielded at the 20-yard line by Roy Green, and Green gets over the 35 to the 36-yard line, where he's bumped down by number 25, Lonnie Parent of the Chicago Bears. And so the Cardinals, again with pretty good field position. Last time they were stopped on 3 consecutive passes, forced a punt. This is their second offensive possession, and we have only 5:22 to play in the quarter.
And that point differential that Chicago trails Washington has already been cut to 19 points.
Mike Phipps went to the sidelines, 8 for 9, 84 yards, a touchdown. The Bears with 10 first downs already. St. Louis now will try to get it started. Otis Anderson forced wide. Got a couple of yards. Forced out of bounds over at the 37-yard line by Gary Fensick, number 45. The Bears going 68 yards in 8 plays, using up another 4:04 on the clock. Phipps to Williams from 11 yards out, 14 to zip Chicago. They are underway in the second half at Tampa Bay in a driving rainstorm. There is still no score. Gain of 2 for Anderson, his first carry of the day.
The Bears have 3 linebackers lined up inside.
Interesting defense as Wayne Morris, number 24, goes off tackle left over the 40-yard line, picked up about 4 yards. Mike Hartenstein, 73, and Tom Hicks, number 54, on the tackle.
That's a new defense for Chicago. I haven't seen that much this year. They have their regular 4 linemen and the 3 linebackers lined up in the gaps on the inside, which would tend to make you think that they're vulnerable to the outside, but I'm sure what they're trying to do is confuse the offensive blocking scheme of the linemen.
2 extra defensive backs in the passing situation now. Watershed and Gaines have come in. Zarkowitz up the middle, incomplete. They had a good heat on him. It was intended for Anderson, but the Bears had a strong rush. Hampton, Page, Hartenstein, and Osborne all coming, and it is 4th down. So the Cardinals unable to get it moving offensively. Steve Little back to punt, standing at his own 26-yard line. The deep man is Lenny Watershed, number 23, awaiting a punt at the 17 of Chicago. Allen, or Steve Little, brings in that punting average, 7th best in the NFC. Watershed covers his own fumble at the 30-yard line. Watershed, seeing the short punt, tried to take it on the fly. Couldn't handle it, but was alert enough to cover that ball, and so the Bears will start 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line with 4:26 remaining first quarter. Well, don't forget, bowl action starts on CBS Sports with the Sun Bowl next Saturday. The Cougars of Houston against the Longhorns of Texas here on CBS next Saturday, beginning some exciting college football action. All right, it is first down for the Bears. Slot formation right. They lead 14-0 here, first quarter. Walter Payton, number 34, hit at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive play by the Cardinals there. Eric Williams, the linebacker, number 55. And Mark Arneson, his linebacking teammate, number 57.
Don't count these St. Louis Cardinals out. I was looking at their schedule this last year. Boy, I'll tell you, they opened up the season playing Dallas, Pittsburgh, Washington, Los Angeles, Houston. They beat Houston, Philadelphia, Dallas. They played all teams that are going to be in the playoffs. this year. So they had a very, very tough schedule.
And they played them all tough. They had a lot of close games. A 1-pointer against Dallas, 3 points against Pittsburgh. Not as bad a team as their 5-10 record indicates. Flag down as Payton goes straight ahead, picking up about 4 yards on the carry, but a flag on the play.
This team had a rough beginning with the death of J.V. Kane, and you know, it takes a while to recover. Not only do you lose a man that you play with, but sometimes you realize that football is not so important. It takes time to recover, because I remember when I was with the Bears and Willie Gallimore and Bo Farrington died in an auto death. For a while, it just didn't seem like football was important, and I think this is what the Cardinals went through, an adjustment and a reaction, and they're trying to get it together now under Larry Wilson, and they'd like to end up this season on a high note for many reasons, and we'll see what happens. What I'm saying is this is 14-0 football game, but I don't believe it's over.
Offside, number 82, defense, repeat, second down.
Bob Pollard offside. The Bears take the penalty. Yes, the Cardinals have had more than their share of trauma this season, and they've also lost outstanding players to injuries. Dan Deerdorf, Gary Paris, Rod Phillips, and Tim Carney, John Zook. Willard Harrell just went on injured reserve with a nerve injury in his neck. Fake reverse for Payton, and it's shut down well in the far corner by the Cardinals. And that is number 37, Ken Green, putting the wrap on him after John Bearfield, the linebacker, forced the play, number 58. Good defense.
Well, they tried a little fanciful razzle-dazzle as a fake to Bashnigel by Payton, and then he kept the ball, but St. Louis was not fooled as a host of tacklers came up to stop Walter Payton to put the Bears in a passing situation. As you can see, the adjustment of the Cardinal defense, they bring in the extra backs and are going to play the pass.
Third down and about 7 for the Chicago Bears, who had scored on their opening 2 drives. Slot formation right. Phipps with time again, and it's complete, and it is inbounds. Bashnagel with another outstanding catch right at the sideline. We waited to see if he was indeed inbounds. The official signals yes.
A nice precision pass, and you can see there's not too much pressure on Phipps when you throw at that depth. And Bashnagel, who comes up with super catches all the time, and the pass, I might say, was perfect. Back as the receiver came back towards the sidelines, and Bashnagel did his job. He cradled it in, and that's a first down for Chicago.
Bashnagel came into the game with 27 catches. Replacing James Scott at that wide receiver position. He's been doing a great job. Williams straight ahead. Got about a yard before he was met by a swarm of Cardinal tacklers. Dawson, the first man to hit him, number 73. Kurt Alleman, the linebacker, in on it. And it is 18 degrees here, but that young man says, hey, I'm not cold. I'm happy to be on camera. Hi there, America. 2nd and 9 for the Bears, and they've got some happy fans here at the moment with this early lead. Time winding down. First quarter, a 14-0 lead, and they have shut down the Cardinals completely. Draw play for Payton. Payton to midfield, picked up 4 yards on the carry, and was knocked down by Bob Pollard, the veteran 9-year man from Weber State, who came over from New Orleans last year. The deal involving Conrad Dobler. Washington brings in the play to give them 3 wide receivers. Greg Latta comes out. Number 81, Harry Washington, recent addition at wide receiver out of Colorado State. Bears losing Golden Richards, James Scott, Steve Schubert have added Washington and Chris Haynes. Play in a big hole for Dave Williams all the way inside the 35 to the 33-yard line, where Roger Worley finally got him. Another big play for the Bears.
Yes, and take a look at Reeve Sori and Walter Payton right out in front. There's Payton throwing his block. Number 69, Reeve Sori, throws his block, and it's Roger Worley who has to stop Dave Williams, as the Bears can seem to do no wrong. That time they really fooled St. Louis, set it up beautifully.
The Cardinals have won the last 2 weeks under their new interim head coach, Larry Wilson. So far today, they have not been able to get it going offensively, and the Bears have moved it against the Cardinal defense. Payton this time is shut down right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be loss of maybe a half a yard. Bearfield and Allerman, the linebackers, on the tackle. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Chicago Bears 14, the St. Louis Cardinals nothing. Second quarter about to begin as we see Minnesota in front of New England 13-7 in the third period. Pittsburgh leading Buffalo 14-0 in the second quarter. And Baltimore leading the Giants 17-0 also in the second quarter. The Bears had 12 first downs in the first period of play. And they had first down at the 35-yard line. Walter Payton inside the 20, and Noah Jackson running down there, helps up with running back. And the Bears playing with fire and enthusiasm. Things are going their way. Ken Stone on the tackle. First down, Chicago at the 20-yard line of St. Louis.
They run him out of the I formation, and he busts a couple of tackles. As you see, Noah Jackson and Dave Williams leading the way. There's the block by Noah Jackson on Eric Williams, and Payton dips to the outside and then turns it on and is finally brought down by Ken Stone.
That brings Payton up to 1,507 yards on the season. Otis Anderson has had only one carry so far in the game for 2 yards. Payton again. Inside the 15 to the 14. A gain of 6. 2nd and 4.
This is a big drive for Chicago, because if St. Louis goes down 21-0, then the Bear defense can do some different things, and they've got them on the ropes. It'll be very difficult for St. Louis to depend on what they do best, and that's the running game, because they'll be down quite a ways.
Stone and Allen on that last tackle, and those safeties have been busy as the Bears have kept most of the action into the St. Louis secondary, both passing and running. Payton again is met at the line of scrimmage this time, and a real pileup of Cardinal defenders. Bearfield was there, Pollard was there, and Allerman. 3 of them all getting a piece of Walter Payton. There'll be no gain on the play. It will remain 4 yards to go, and now 3rd down. The Bears, as we mentioned, had 12 first downs. The Cardinals not 1 in the first quarter. 72 yards of rushing by Chicago. And Phipps was 9 for 10 passing and 95 yards.
Greg Letta just came in with a play for Chicago from the sidelines.
Wide right is Bashmettle, wide left is Watts. 3rd and 4. Swing it out to Williams. Good block. But he stopped on an outstanding defensive play and got only about a yard. That was Kurt Allerman. Allerman is down and evidently hurt on that tackle, and he made a very fine play. And both the receiver, Williams, and the tackler, Allerman, are down on their backs.
Well, they had quite a collision there on that play. The Bears have been throwing to the backs all day so far in this first and second quarter. And we'll be back in just a moment with the Chicago Bears leading St. Louis by a score of 14-0.
Kurt Allerman is still down. Williams got up, and while they're attending to him, let's go to New York, where Brent Musburger has been tracking that game in Tampa Bay. Brent?
Tim and Johnny, Kansas City has the ball down in Tampa Bay. The footing is absolutely treacherous in that game right now. It has rained hard all day. There is a distinct possibility that unless one of these offensive teams makes a key mistake, they could wind up with a scoreless tie. Then, of course, if Chicago holds on, they would win the championship that way. Kansas City right now is dropping back to punt. They are back inside their goal line. The punter will stand. Again, it is scoreless down in Tampa Bay. I see now that the injured player is off the field. Back to Tim Ryan.
Well, thank you, Brent Musburger, and Brent will be keeping us completely up to date. We'll be passing you along the scores from Tampa Bay as we receive them, so you'll know exactly what's happening as these two games affect each other greatly. Thomas, fake field goal. Parsons wants to throw. Parsons intended for Buffone, and it's incomplete. Well, the Bears would have loved to pull that off. Doug Buffone, who announced his retirement just yesterday, was the man on the special teams in the end zone going for the pass.
Well, the Bears are letting it all hang out today as they fake the field goal. Parsons gets some pressure there from Bearfield, and then he has to kind of off balance throw the ball, and believe it or not, it got there. As Doug Buffone turned around, it was just a little off target. Almost a great play by the Chicago Bears. St. Louis responded. It remains 14-0 in favor of Chicago. St. Louis has the ball back.
Well, the NBA on CBS returns Christmas Day with Dr. J and Dr. Dunk leading Philadelphia against the Washington Bullets.
There's Cardinal head coach Larry Wilson, and they defensed that fake field goal pretty well. I'll tell you about that in a second.
First down for the Cardinals from their own 13-yard line following the missed fake field goal try. And Anderson straight ahead on the right side, stopped by Hartenstein and Hampton. The defensive ends pinching in to make the tackle after a gain of about 3 yards.
And I should have picked up when I saw Parsons as the holder, because he doesn't normally hold for the field goals. The Bears slipped him in there because he is a good passer and a former quarterback, but it did not work. Maybe the Cardinals spotted Parsons also.
Ryan Bashnagel would normally be doing the holding for the Bears, but they came up empty on that one. Continue to lead 14-0. Third offensive series. Here goes Anderson, and that's Otis Anderson running out the right side. Looks to have the first down. Muckenstern put the tackle on him. Otis Anderson, the rookie who has made the All-Pro team, along with his teammates Bob Young and Roger Worley, named to the All-Pro team just yesterday.
And the Bears had their 3 linebackers inside the defensive ends that time once again. That is a new defense for them. I'm sure that Neil Armstrong and defensive coordinator Buddy Ryan must be thinking, because the Cardinals run so few plays. They just pound at you with Otis Anderson. They want to confuse the offensive scheme blocking. We'll see if they continue to do that.
They got the first down of the run by Otis O.J. Anderson.
And there is Dwayne Putnam signaling in the play into Pizarkowicz. He has some hand signals that he throws in, and Pizarkowicz calls the plays from that.
That was the first down of the afternoon, and 11:25 remains in the first half. First down for St. Louis. Morris and Anderson continue to keep switching when they come out. Anderson is hit at the line of scrimmage by Alan Page, and then covered by Gary Campbell and Tom Hicks.
There's Doug Buffone sitting on the sidelines. He probably won't play much from scrimmage, but he's done a lot for special teams, and when he has played this year, he's done great. Played more games than any other Chicago Bear in history. The last man in the National Football League to play for George Halas, Doug Buffone. You should have seen that Bear defense. They got a stacked defense in there.
It is 2nd and 8. Gain of 2 by Anderson. Looked like he had a little more on that last run. Anderson again. Hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss of a yard. Fensick and Gary Campbell were there. 45-59, and they are excited. They know how good this kid is. They know what a great running back he is, and they are up to stop him.
There you get a chance to take a look at the 3 linebackers, and one of them gets through, and that happens to be Gary Campbell. 59 makes the tackle and comes with some help from Gary Fensick, and Mr. Anderson went nowhere. Now a 3rd down passing situation.
Loss of a yard on the play. 3rd and 9. Extra defensive back in for the Bears. Winford Gaines, who comes right up to the line of scrimmage. Pizarkowicz had time, and it's almost intercepted by Plank on a deflection. The ball deflected, and Plank nearly had himself an easy intercept, but could not squeeze it. But again, the Bears have stopped St. Louis. The Cardinals with only 1 first down.
They came with the safety blitz. Len Watershed, 23. It goes through Plank's hands and right into Otis Anderson's hands. Watch this. Plank misses it, and there's Otis Anderson got a hand on it, and that was really quite a wild play.
Once again, Steve Little will punt. You're looking at Lenny Watershed, awaiting it at the 39-yard line of the Chicago Bears. Good kick against the wind by Little. Now it just drops like a stone as that wind took effect. And it will be down at the 41-yard line, but a good kick by Little, as there is a strong wind at 21 miles an hour blowing in his direction. 9:46 to go in the first half. The Bears lead at 14-0. Pittsburgh Steelers doing a job on Buffalo. The preceding message was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League and CBS. Steelers 21-0 over the Bills in the 3rd period. It is first down here, slot formation right for the Bears. In motion behind the ball, Baschnagel. Williams, the lead back in the eye. Payton with the ball, met behind the line by Johnny Bearfield, number 58, the second-year man from Texas A&I. Number 3 pick a year ago. Loss of about 3 on the play.
Baltimore leads the New York Giants 24-7, and Bearfield came up with a nice play. He beat the block by Dave Williams, who is playing the fullback slot. Dave Williams is a former quarterback, a former wide receiver, and now he's playing the heavy-duty fullback spot, and he leads the Bears in pass receiving. He had 38 going into this game, and as you saw earlier, he's caught a couple of big ones for the Bears today.
Latta brought the play in. Cobb is out. Slot formation left Chicago, 2nd and 13. All kinds of motion along that line, and it would be a false start indication likely against Chicago on the play. Perhaps a missed signal.
False start, number 70, offense.
Dennis Lick, the right tackle, number 70, the guilty party. 9 minutes remaining here in the first half of play.
Harry Washington has come in for the Chicago Bears.
False start, moving before the snap, number 70. Repeat the down.
Well, that moves it back to 2nd and 18 for the Bears tonight, or Monday night on CBS. WKRP in Cincinnati, followed by the return of the last resort. Then MASH, House Calls, making its first appearance in Lou Grant. That's all Monday night here on CBS.
3 wide receivers for Chicago.
Washington 81, Baschnagel, and Ricky Watts. And they go with Williams straight ahead. And he got maybe 3 yards before being pulled down. Number 82, Pollard, was there. Williams, the linebacker, number 55. And Mike Dawson, number 73. So the Cardinals did not buy that play. They had the 3 wide receivers in, showing pass. Went right ahead with Williams. Cardinals were there. 3rd down, about 16 to go. San Francisco leading Atlanta 21-17 in the 3rd period. A real shootout going there. 14-0 here, scoreless in Tampa Bay, where a torrential downpour continues to fall. Phipps complete to the tight end, Latta. He is hit by Eric Williams, number 55, and gained only about 6, maybe 7 yards on the play. It'll bring up 4th down. This will be the first punt of the afternoon for Bears punter Bob Parsons, and we have only 8 minutes remaining in the half.
And with Bob Parsons, you never know whether he'll punt or not. He's about 9 for 10 in pass attempts in his history with the Chicago Bears. This year he has a 38-yard average in
88 punts.
88 punts?
Yep. Lee Nelson is the deep man. And a good try at the block by Roy Green. Narrowly missed it. Terrific punt by Parsons. Lee Nelson shakes off a couple of tacklers. Now is cut down by number 47, Mike Spivey, inside the 10-yard line. Tremendous punt by Parsons. Of course, he had a stiff breeze behind him. And that is the first punt of the day for Chicago. 49 yards by Parsons, and the Cardinals have to start from their own 8. 7:25 to go first half. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris with the action here at Soldier Field. Remember, following our football coverage on CBS today, 60 minutes. 4 years ago, a giant American chemical company was told by one of its own engineers that it was slowly contaminating water wells adjoining the plant. Did the company do anything about it? Well, you can find out in 60 minutes. Otis Brown is in the backfield for the Cardinals, number 33, with Anderson. Draw play, Anderson. Big hole. Anderson over the 20 out to the 24-yard line. Hard running by the big rookie. Doug Plank pulls him down, and he has a Cardinal first down. 210-pound rookie from Miami.
There you can take a look at Mike Phipps. It looks like Mike, they're looking at pictures of the defense. And they use the Polaroid on the sidelines, trying to give the quarterback a little better vantage points. And here's what it looks like. Here's what they did last time. Here's what we have to do.
Come on, Johnny. Those are the pictures of his family that he's got for Christmas.
Not today.
Those are the Christmas pictures he's looking at. First down, Cardinals. Zarkowitz Swings it out for Theotis Brown. Good block on the corner, and Brown has another first down out to the 35-yard line. Osborne ranging way out to make the tackle on him, number 68.
And a real good block by number 68, Terry Steve. You'll see him leave his block on Jim Osborne. And right out here, he gets on Muckensturm, 68, Terry Steve, and he just holds Muckensturm out of there. So Theotis Brown can get up the field before Jim Osborne reacts and comes over to make the tackle. Good play by the Cardinals, and Terry Steve was voted the most improved player on the St. Louis team this year.
First down, St. Louis. Into the I formation. First time we've seen it today. Loose ball covered by Anderson, who fumbled it. Now let's see who's got it. No, it is St. Louis ball. The Bears claim that they grabbed it, Gary Fensick, but it remains the possession of the St. Louis Cardinals. They have been a fumbling team. 40 times they've dropped the ball this year.
It seems like he never really got control. There it is as he takes the handoff, and the ball is underneath there. Who's got it? The Bears have it, but they must have blown it dead. Kind of a quick whistle there with that ball being loose, because he did fumble before he was down.
Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. Despite the 40 fumbles, they only lost 21 of them, but they have been a loose handling team. Markowitz falls, going back to throw, and right there to make sure he doesn't get up is Jerry Muckensturm, number 58, the successor to Doug Buffone, who retired.
The Bears were in that stacked defense. There goes Pizarkowicz back, and he just was tripped up on his way. He stumbled over somebody's foot, so now they're into a, a third down long passing situation, and this is where, there you see the Kansas City-Tampa Bay game still scoreless.
They're now in the 4th period there.
Yes, and a tie would hurt Tampa Bay if the Bears won.
It is 3rd and very long. 3rd and about 19 for the Cardinals. Pizarkowicz lots of time, and it is intercepted by Ellis. Ellis brings it back upfield. And he's knocked down at the 45-yard line of St. Louis by Theotis Brown. The pass was intended for Mel Gray, number 85, and with the extra defensive back in, Alan Ellis picked it off.
Well, he threw into the double coverage as Plank came off his coverage, and you're going to see a hit on Mel Gray that is unbelievable by number 46, Doug Plank, as he's going for the ball. Here comes Ellis, and there comes Plank, 46. Did he level him? Alan Ellis takes off up the field. He's playing for the injured Virgil Livers, turns back, and the Chicago Bears have the ball once again. First down.
Don't forget, next Saturday on the Sports Spectacular, Super Skates, the Pacific Synchronized Swimming Championships, and an up-to-date report of the progress of Ed Too Tall Jones, the former Dallas Cowboy who had his 4th professional fight the other night. You'll see it on the Sports Spectacular. First down at the 45-yard line following the interception by Alan Ellis.
Oh, he's open.
Play action, and it's Lonnie Perrin. Down the sideline, first down inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Roger Worley finally caught up with him. Good play by the Bears.
Now you have the fake to Payton right there, and there goes Perrin, who has not played all that much from the running back spot. Phipps hit him beautifully right in stride down the sidelines. The former Illini football player takes deep into St. Louis territory. The Bears on the move again.
Robin Earl has come in for Perrin, so we must assume that Dave Williams still bothered somewhat by his big collision with Kurt Allerman. Allerman has a pinched nerve as a result of that hit. This is Payton squirting through inside the 10 to the 8-yard line, where he's hit by Ken Stone. And there was a pat that Payton play, apparently no hole, and suddenly he finds a daylight.
There had to be a little bit of hole here as he follows Noah Jackson. 65 comes through. Good blocking by Dan Neal. People were down on the field. Payton was able to jump up over the line and get the yards, and it's Ken Stone, and he's made so many saving tackles today. He ought to make all pro on that.
2nd and a yard to go for the Bears, threatening again inside the 10 of St. Louis. Chicago leads it 14-0. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris here at Soldier Field as the Bears are after the NFC Central title. Payton tripped up at the line of scrimmage, still squirting, battling. but did not get much. Trying for that first down marker, and it will depend on how they mark it here. It would appear that he was short. Minnesota leading New England 16-7 in the third period.
Tampa Bay is threatening to score against Kansas City. They're down at the Chiefs' 5-yard line in the fourth quarter with a third down situation.
An official timeout on the field as they will measure here. It was very close to the first down marker. And it is going to be short. They need about a foot for a first down. Phipps looking over at the sideline to see what the call will be, and it's being brought in by Greg Latta. 3:23 remaining here in the first half. Chris Haynes comes out. Latta brings the play in. Otis Anderson, not much chance to get on track here as the Bears have had the ball most of this first half. Third down and a foot at the 8-yard line. Tampa Bay has just scored on a field goal. We'll have more details in a moment. Third and a foot, and diving for Phipps would appear to have the first down. Mike Phipps on the keeper. There's that Tampa Bay score on the field goal by O'Donohue. Walter Payton has rolled up 65 yards today. Phipps got that foot. And it is first down Bears. They are at the 7-yard line now of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Now, if Tampa Bay holds on to win that game, there's still time to play. The Bears will have to open up even more so to make up that point differential.
Well, we'll try to find out exactly how much time left. They were in the fourth period at Tampa Bay. Walter Payton straight ahead, and a stone wall at the line of scrimmage. The Cardinals doing a good job of stacking up the blocking. Charlie Davis, the nose tackle, fifth-year man from TCU, and Dawson, the defensive end, 73.
You know, it's very interesting now how closely Neil Armstrong on the Bears sideline, if he is staying real up on that Tampa Bay situation, the Bears could get into a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 situation down near the goal line where they could take the field goal or go for the touchdown, and he probably now with the score 3-0 would go for the touchdown, knowing that they need to score points.
It is second and goal from the 5-yard line with a 2-minute warning having been sounded. The score, the Chicago Bears 14, the St. Louis Cardinals nothing. Well, the Honey Bears finding a way to keep warm. It's always easier to stay warm when your team's in front. It is 14-0 for the Bears. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris as Neil Armstrong looking on here, but no doubt aware of that score in Tampa Bay, where Neil O'Donohue connected from 19 yards out with a field goal, 8:50 remaining in the fourth quarter. 3-0 Tampa Bay over Kansas City. It is second and goal from the 5-yard line here, and Phipps has to get Mike Cobb back to the right side for this play. Robin Earl, the lead back. Pitch to Payton.